4 years ago, Cass decided she wanted to learn to ski, and while it wasn't always sunshine and roses for her, 4 years later, she now loves the sport, is pushing into expert terrain, and is super excited for this season. So in this video, I wanted to show her progression story over those years to give you all a look at how she overcame setbacks to become the skier she is today, to hopefully inspire anyone out there who is considering giving up on the sport, or maybe somebody out there who's just getting into the sport, a realistic look at what learning to ski is all about. Skiing can bring you some unbelievably amazing moments. You just have to get to a point where you're skilled enough on your skis to experience those things. Cass did, and it has been a dream come true to enjoy skiing together. You can do it too. Alright, enough talking. Let's start off with Cass's first day ever on skis. A couple weeks later, she had her second day on skis, and some better conditions saw her take a pretty big leap already. Even her first real slam didn't scare her away from the sport.
You okay? You okay? Speed, good speed.
Things were going really well, and her first season ended with a family trip to Killington, Vermont, and that's where she suffered her first big setback. Early on in the first day, we turned onto a pretty sketchy section of a blue right near the top of Killington, trying to make it to a beginner zone, take a steeper run than anything she'd ever been on, being on top of a huge mountain, and somebody who had only ever skied Midwest molehills, and you have a recipe for a pretty damn scary experience. And while she did end up skiing pretty well in Vermont once we made it to the beginner zones and made some good progress, that initial shock really ruined the fun of skiing for her and zapped her of all the confidence that she had built throughout the season up until that point. And this is something that can just happen for new skiers, whether due to a scary experience like Cass had, maybe a crash, or just frustration at not improving as fast as you want to. You could lose the fun or lose your confidence in skiing, and unfortunately most of the time I see this happen, the person ends up quitting completely. Luckily, Cass didn't quit and instead took a step back to slowly work on rebuilding confidence at her small local hills during her second season. Near the end of the season, we went to another bigger resort, Holiday Valley, which wasn't as big as Vermont, but was much bigger and scarier than our local hills. This was a good test of her confidence to see how she'd react to a bigger mountain again, and the day went really well. So while year 2 didn't feature huge amounts of progression in terms of her actual skiing, the steps she took to overcome the previous season's confidence loss was a huge win and set her up for a very important year 3. The goal for year 3 was to have Cass go on our yearly ski trip out west to see how she'd react to a huge real mountain again. This was the make or break trip in a lot of ways, and since she had regained her confidence, we spent the early portion of the season progressing and working on her edge control and just overall skiing technique. Similar to year one, things were going well again, Cass was progressing, and a few weeks later, it was time to send it out to Colorado. I was praying we'd have good weather and we'd be able to get her on some really solid beginner terrain on our first day out there, and Keystone blessed us with a bluebird day and 3.5 miles of non-stop beginner skiing. This was the type of day she needed, skiing confidently and having fun at a real mountain. I think for the first time she got to appreciate the beauty of everything around her rather than being worried about the skiing itself. She led the way all day and eventually told me she wanted to hit her first real blue square. Now originally she was only supposed to ski one day out there, but the first day went so well she asked to come to Copper later in the week, and I think at Copper is where she began to fall in love with the sport. The rest of that season was spent locally, having fun with the squad and working on her park skills. Year 3 was really her breakthrough, and at some point, as long as you stick with it, you'll have your breakthrough moment as well. That brings us to this past season where Cass skied with the most confidence yet and progressed in a huge way. We went out to Utah and she was ripping the blues with no fear at all. After that trip, we came back home and she started grinding in the park with the boys. Later in the year, we got her a pair of skis that actually fit her, and from there she really took off. To cap the season, we took one more trip out to Colorado to ski Copper and Vail. The year before, Cass actually skipped Vail because of it seeming too intense, but this time around she came to Vail and skied the best she ever had. This was our last day on hill for the season, and to cap the year, she told me she wanted to hit her first black diamond.
Cass's first black diamond. Got it. Hell yeah. Woohoo! Yeah.
4 years after she started, Cass is now addicted to the sport, and the sky really is the limit for her moving into this season and future seasons. She has a new passion for the rest of her life, and I have somebody to shred with for the rest of mine. I truly hope her story helps someone out there who is struggling to get into the sport. Keep pushing, keep grinding, never give up, and soon you'll be out there ripping with us as well. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.